What is going on, everyone? Tutorial Tim here, and today I'm going to be showing you a nice little tip and trick that is associated with design systems in Figma. There's a new update Figma has released, and that is having the ability to add links to your components. So what do I mean by that? If I go ahead and click on this link here, as you can see, I have a rectangle here on the properties panel, and I can go ahead and select that description, test description, and long story short, now you have the ability directly from your selection of that main component, you have the ability to add in the documentation link. And why is this useful? Well, this is a very useful feature of Figma because it gives you the ability to not only view this file as a viewer in the inspect panel, which I'll show you in just a moment, and show you exactly where that code lives or that documentation on how to use this component. And more often than not, you're probably not going to be using this rectangle component, so this is a bad example. But if I were to say I had a button, for example, and I can go ahead and if I knew where the information was, whether that website was internal or a public-facing website as well, I can go ahead and grab that documentation link. And if it is an internal link, you'll have to take into consideration, having your VPN enabled and things of that nature. But here, as you can see, new documentation links for main components has been released on November 5th. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab a link. I can reference material design, for example. And if I go ahead and copy that, I can go ahead and apply that to my component. So if I delete this and just create a new component from scratch, go ahead, right click, create component. And now with that component selected in the properties panel, I can see the documentation input field. I can go ahead and paste that link and then click on my canvas, and now it has been saved. And now we're going to see the power of this. So I have another account open in Google, on Google Chrome, and I have this from the perspective of a viewer now. So in the native application on my desktop or on the operating system here, I'm in editor, and then on the browser I am a viewer, as you can see. So when I click on this component, you can now see that I have the ability to, when I notice the selection has to be very particular. If I click on the rectangle 1 here, and I have the ability to view this documentation, and when I click on it, it opens up the tab in a new page, and I'm going to check that box there, and then it takes me directly to that information. So this is any information you need to have this link to. That is a very useful resource there. And if I go ahead and go back and I just click on the square itself, you notice that is a deep selection. So the deep selection doesn't give you access to the documentation link. It gives you need to access the parent element, because the parent element is the main component, excuse me. And if I go ahead and select the view documentation, I will be taken there. And that is my tip and trick of the day. I hope you found that helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one.